he gets a star. He gets a star. You guys watched the video. You guys, he had everybody on their feet, fired up. People were in tears. They were screaming. They're holding on to their hearts. And the message is, this is my time. He didn't even get a number. He got a freaking gold star. Okay, so that's where we're going. So this is the plan. We have the next 3 months. We're gonna rock this. And and I'm gonna actually turn this back over to Seth, because you know what? You had me fired up at the end, and you every time you speak, I get more fired up. So it's my time. It's my time. So Seth, there you go. Oh God, I gotta get the spotlight back on you. There you go. You're on.
Your time, and I dropped the link for that YouTube. We have that speech for those of you who were not there or in Canada, etc. I will tell you that was special, and that was not all me. I will tell you that. I will give credit where credit is due. It was pretty doggone amazing, and yeah, it was amazing. So check it out. Anne, what do you want me to cover? You want me to cover the social media piece?
I would love for you to kind of share with us, but before you cover the social media piece, just say something about it's my time, because you know what? I think all of us that are here, I think it is our time. And why should we get on social media? Because it is our time. So I'm just whatever comes up. I mean, I don't have to tell you. You just let the big guy tell you what to do. I'm just going to be quiet, and I'm going to be inspired.
Watch the link. Watch the link. Watch the link. Watch the link. That I think what's so special about that keynote address was because I've watched it and rewatched it and critiqued it and thought, well, this is what I need to do here, and man, and this is how I'm going to improve, and I'm all about improvement, but you also don't want to lose yourself in the tiny details. Sometimes over analyzing things. When you take it for what it is, it truly was amazing, and the reason it was amazing is not because of the language, not because of the movie clip, not because it was designed, beautifully. It's because it touches people's hearts. It went 100% to your heart, and not for people's hearts. It went to your heart. I know how many people came to me personally and said, that was for me. My own uncle was there, by the way. My own uncle was there, and he's crushed it in network marketing before. Pro 8 kind of crush it. Pro 8 in 12 months or less, kind of crush it. And he's basically had his behind busted just like from 20 different angles in the last decade that he hasn't been at LifeVantage. He's new to LifeVantage. And he came to this event and he heard that, and he came up to me. He's like, that was for me. And this dude is as big as a gorilla, right? I mean, he's as barrel chested. He's as tall as a grizzly and big around as a gorilla. And he was just in tears. And he's like, that was for me. Can you send that? Can you send that link to me? I need to share it with people. So my first recommendation is that you listen to that for you, and develop your love, fall in love with that statement, that idea. Something that I do every day is I get in contact. I have my here on my wall of inspiration, my wall of fame. I've got various avatar pictures and identity pictures and my mastermind goal pictures. And I in my gym bag, I have a vision. It's my time, right? It's my time. It's just a vision. It's an absolute clarity of vision for who I am, who I intend to be. I have one in my gym bag. Yes, I have one in my gym bag. It's 8.5 by 11. It's at the bottom of my gym bag under my basketball. and my gym shoes. Okay. And when I go to the gym 3 to 4, and Michael, this one's for you, coach, 3 to 4 times a week to play basketball, I'm in love with the game. I'm in love with the journey. I'm in love with the championship. I pull out the ball, I pull out my shoes, and guess what's right there in front of me? It's my time. I'm going on the court. It's my time. And I tap that board. And I say, basically, see this goal, see this identity, see it, feel it. And I actually feel it. So just step into who you are, who you want, desire to be. If you have faith, great. Faith is a creative principle. If right now the best you can do is muster the desire to have faith, right? Then that's a start. That's a seed. But it is your time. I firmly believe each one of us are put here for a reason. All of the goods, all of the bads, all of the successes, all of the learning experiences, learning opportunities, as Ann calls them, are part of your story, and they fit in to the solution. They're not detractors, right? The hell that I went through in the last decade, well, a decade ago, the hell that I was going through, that didn't tear me down. That gave me muscles, right? And that is my story, and it's my time more than ever, it's my time. So, and do you want me to talk a little about casting this vision out on social media?
Yes,
Really brief, I know.
yes.
So I want to share a couple of things with you. If you can, Ann, if you can throw over rights to me.
Hold on a second.
Whoa. Beverly, what is this that you just put in the chat?
That is my declaration by midnight tonight. I'm
love it.
$1,100 away, and I'm declaring it.
Beautiful. I love it. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are Pro 3. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you have a story to tell. You have a story to tell now, today. Today. The story that you tell today is how you hit Pro 3. The story that you tell today is how you get to Pro 7. It is not, you got to lay the egg. Don't wait for it to hatch, right? It's time to lay the egg. You already have the capacity, okay? You don't have to wonder, well, am I going to hatch? You're a chicken. You're there. You got to lay the egg, okay? Lay the freaking egg. I've never said that or used that analogy. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to again, but I'm going to roll with it, okay? You got to tell your story. And your story isn't, when I get to Pro 7, here's what I'm going to do. When I start recruiting people, here's what I'm going to do. Your story is what gets you to cast the vision, to tell people, right? You're tired of where you are, and you have a vision and a commitment to go somewhere new, and you found a plan to get there. Guess what? That's your story. That's how I got to Pro 7 in 90 days. Because I told that story about 300 times. Okay. Speed, consistency, and love. You just tell your story with speed. You better tell it. And when I mean speed, I don't mean, hey, let me tell you that, right? I'm not necessarily talking about the length of the story. I'm talking the repetition speed. I told it to you. I'm going to find out where you are. How can I bless your life? What's the next step? And then I'm going to share it with you. I'm looking at you right now, right? I'm not looking at people. I'm looking at a person. I took that away from, by the way, Giselle Ugardi. I'm not a peopler. I'm a personer, right? I'm into a person, the person that's watching me, the one person. So, and sometimes when you're on social media, it feels like there is one person watching. In fact, sometimes you just wish that at least one person would watch you. To the one person who actually liked my post, can I just say thank you? Right? So you want to tell that story with speed, then you want to tell it consistently. In other words, you better do this tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. Okay. And you do it with love, because if you do it with love, there is no failure. There is no oops. There will only be good. It'll only be seeds planted. Okay. So I wanted to preface what I'm going to talk about social media about. All I'm doing on social media is telling my story. I'm giving people a snippet into my story, into my vision, into my life. Should you spend time on social media right now? Or should you make a list and call people you already know? Yes. Okay, I'm done. I'm giving it back to, and I mean, like you've already told your story to thousands, to hundreds at the very least, but well, likely thousands of people over your whole life. Like you're living your story. That's why it's so important to live these principles, because every single thing I do is my social media. So you ought to pick up the phone and absolutely call, right, the people that you know and say, wow, have you heard the news? Hey, I know that we have talked about, like, hey, I had to call, I had to reach out, something too big not to mention, right? It's just going down. I know we've talked about LifeVantage before, and it wasn't just wasn't the right timing for you, but this was big enough that I had to reach out. Blah, 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 right? So you need to be doing that. I'm doing a ton of that right now. I'm also, in addition to that, I'm doing a lot on social media. So I want to give you a quick snippet and high level of what I'm doing, and why I think it, and why it's important. I'm looking for this presentation. All right, there it is. Oops, that's the new, sneak peek, Liquid Collagen brand partner business plan. What if I could show you how to make $657 in the first month and over $500 every single month? No pictures. Just teach it. Just teasing, Yasmin. Take pictures.
I'm not a great note taker. I like to review data.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Here it is. Okay. So let's talk about this. Let's take a quick look into Instagram. Why Instagram? Hey, Isaac, would you close that door, please? Why Instagram? Because it is one of the channels. It's one of the mediums, right? It's a method. It's a channel. It's a broadcast application that allows you to reach people that you know, people that you don't know yet, people who want to know you. Now, I could do the same thing. We could do the same thing for Instagram, for Facebook. Billions of users on Facebook, right? It's actually the #1 social media platform. We could do this for LinkedIn, 500 million people. We could do this for Snapchat or WeChat. I mean, there's so many avenues, okay? TikTok, there might be like the big 5: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, something like that. And I'd love to know, just for my information, for our information, actually, because you're the movers and the shakers, and you're probably ahead of most people that you're leading, right? And even of your clientele. So how many of those platforms, drop in the platforms in the chat. I'd love to know, which of those platforms are you actually active right now? Okay. And when I mean active, I'm going to say monthly. Okay. So there's something we call MAU and DAU. Monthly active users, daily active users. Which of those 5 big platforms are you involved in on a monthly or a day, on a monthly basis? Okay. And then think about, which ones are you involved in on a daily basis? Because this, I'm going to, based on what you're saying, I'm going to modify and kind of tailor my message here. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook profile, Facebook business. I knew that was going to be Bruna. I knew Bruna was going to be on both of those. Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay. So am I safe to say that most of you are active? I mean, it basically looks like a majority of us are active in Facebook, Oh, there's YouTube, of course. Yes, thank you, Barbara. I'd forgotten YouTube. Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn are the big three for us. And I'm probably going to say that Facebook is the number one most used by any of us. And Instagram's probably Instagram or LinkedIn, interestingly enough, are number two for us. It can be super overwhelming when we go into social media and we say, here are the 7 things. Yasmin's shaking her head. Here's what you need to do, right? And here's what you need to do on one platform. You need to post every day, and you need to post 3 times a day, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to follow this, and you need to respond to every single like, and then you need to do that on all 7 platforms. That's called a heart palpitation. Don't do that. Don't feel like you can do that. You can't do that. Imagine being a chef in the kitchen. Vivian knows I love to cook good food. Can you imagine having to perfect or learn 7 dishes at one time? They don't even do that on, on Chopped, or Beat Bobby Flay, right? You usually attack 1 dish at a time or 1 meal at a time. So my recommendation to you is pick a platform and improve on that platform. Okay. Improve on that platform. So pick one. What I'm going to say today about Instagram is applicable almost probably to everything. And, generally, it's super, super applicable and almost interchangeable with Facebook. Okay. Because I want to get into a couple of details. But number 1, broadcast your media channel. Do you realize that you can broadcast on, we threw YouTube in there. So let's say 6 of the biggest platforms in the world right now. And how much does it cost to share that content? How much does it cost dollars wise, like marketing dollars? 0. How much do they charge you to upload videos to YouTube? Nothing. What's the daily cost per page to put up a story on Instagram? Nothing, right? So just consider this, that you have the opportunity to reach millions and there are billions of people dialed into these platforms looking for value, looking for entertainment, looking for what I call the big 3: entertainment, inspiration, and information, or education is what. Entertainment, inspiration, education. Okay. So you just got to buy in that you got to be a media channel. I don't care what other businesses. Michael, you were in real estate, right? Anne was in logistics. Whatever you were in, whatever you are still in, if you don't exist on social media, you don't exist. Okay. I'm using a lot of Instagram right now. I'm probably touching Instagram more than any other platform right now. Facebook is a close second for me. There are 1 billion MAUs, 1 billion monthly active users on Instagram. 170 million plus are in the US. 180 million are in India. India is the biggest user of Instagram, by the way, bigger than any other country. 500 million of those, so half of them, are daily active users. Okay. Average daily active time, 29 minutes. They're spending 29 minutes of their day actually scrolling, perusing. Some are creating, but the vast majority are not creators or curators. They are partakers, right? The reason we're doing this training is because if you want to be a shaker, you want to be a mover, you want to be a builder, you want to be a seller, guess what? You got to be a creator or a curator. Creator, meaning you're creating content. Let me simplify creating content. You are the content. Thank goodness, right? Thank goodness. Again, it's your time. This is your story. Master your story, magnify your impact. You're the content. What you're doing. if you go to my stories, what's my content today? If I'm on stories today, Seth Mulder, my Bible study this morning, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. That's where I was today, right? Yesterday it was blah, blah, blah. It was me. It's just, I am the content. Okay. So you're a creator of content or a curator, like a museum curator. Is the museum creator the Neanderthal exhibit? No, they've just organized it and reproduced it or shared it or remixed it. So people have developed massive followings being curators of content, not necessarily sole creators. I do a little bit of both. I'll tell you one area where I curate content all the time. You know, my mission is to champion and support women in business and life to massive success and fulfillment. Well, there's a little website, a little Instagram account called Women Empowerment Corner. And, you know, I like to make up little things, little sayings, right? Not memes, but just little quotes, things that I say or I hear others say, and I'll change them and I'll put a CEO women logo on it, right? That's creation. But this Women Empowerment Corner, they're saying some darn good things. In fact, my Instagram post is one of their quotes today. All I was take their quote and I shared it. I actually added my own flair. I actually took the CEO Women logo and I co-branded it. So it's their quote with giving them credit, titled credit, but then I co-created it or co-curated it, and I put my logo on it as well, my stamp of approval. So in that way, I'm creating and curating. I didn't have to think up that amazing quote today about self-talk. I just found it from somebody else and shared it. Does that make sense? So let me jump into a couple of things. I've got three big things for you today. And number one, know your avatar, your audience. I do not expect you to implement every single thing I'm saying today. I don't expect you to implement everything I'm saying today this month necessarily. What I do invite you to do is pick one thing. Pick one thing. Just do one thing that I've invited you to today. Because that's the one thing that's going to get done. 17 pages of notes, 17 ideas mean nothing. Do one thing and you're a millennia. You're light years ahead of the person who took notes but did not implement yet. So just do one thing. Number one, I want to know my avatar and my audience. My audience is a group of my avatar. So do some work, put some time in and decide, who do you speak to? Because that person I'm speaking to, that woman 35 above, my avatar is a woman 35 above, energetic, active, health-minded, wealth-minded, successful, and ambitious. That's the woman that I'm talking to. Okay. So creating that avatar, when I create or curate my content, that's the person that I'm thinking of, right? Profile. Next thing you want to do is you got to work on your profile. You must work on your profile. I mean, like, people follow me, people who engage in my content, or people that I follow a lot of people, and most of them are a little ahead of me, right? A little or a lot ahead of me in, online or whatever, in business, in mindset, in Instagram following, in engagement, in sales. Okay. Let me pause though. I got to give you a personal interjection. I follow a decent number of influencers, right? People who have more followers than I do. Maybe they're selling more product, but I'm telling you, know what I feel like they're chasing right now? They're chasing what I've got. They're chasing residual income. They're chasing a team. So just know this, that you kind of want to, you want to be aware of that, of your destination, right? My destination is not to become an influencer. I'm not out to be an influencer. I'm out to build a business. And along the way, influencing people and influencing persons is part of what I do. But influencers don't have what I got. They don't have what you got. They don't. They're jumping. They are on a treadmill. Okay. Just so you know. you want to build a business here, because that's what the influencers really want. Anyway, I'll go to somebody's profile, and you can automatically tell if somebody's a player or not by when they go to their profile. And I know this, some people go to my profile, depending on where they are. Most of them have fewer followers than I do. And they say, man, that guy's a player, meaning that dude is moving. That guy's got, they just instantly looking at my profile, they will know. I also have a hunch that there are influencers. And am I chasing influencers? No, but am I wanting to mimic the good things that they're doing to be able to give more good influence and value to people? Absolutely. Right. So I'm going to learn from those influencers. It's just not, I don't want to end where they are. I want to utilize the tools that they have and develop my skills so I can do what I do better. Right. Does that make sense? 99.9% of all the big names, hundreds of thousands of followers, would trade places with us in a minute if they could build a residual income business. Okay. But I know that some of those influencers look at my profile and they're like, yeah, this guy's a mid-major. This, nice stuff, but why? Because they can tell that their game is bigger than mine. So invest in your profile. LinkedIn profile, yes. Instagram profile, yes. Facebook profile, yes. On whatever platform you're going to go number one in right now, make sure that you optimize your profile. Okay. So this is my Instagram profile that you see here. Do you see this, by the way? No, somehow my screen
Nope.
share is paused.
Why don't you
Well-
stop sharing and go back on again?
That's weird. Yeah. Let's try that. How's that? Are you seeing it now?
Yes,
Okay.
we see it.
Yeah, we got it.
Did you see this? Did you see this file when I was sharing this page, or did you
Yeah.
never?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was there. That was there the whole time.
Awesome. Thanks. So this is my profile. Okay. It's good, but it's not great yet. Like I'm making some adjustments, and it's going to be in these 7 things that I'm working on. So I wanted to throw this out to you the very first today. Is wherever you are playing, make sure that you go and work on your profile. Number one thing, most important thing on your profile, Instagram. And again, everything, when I say Instagram, if you're doing Facebook, it's the same thing. Okay. Saying, pick your picture. And in fact, on Facebook, there's some other nuances. So if you want my Facebook slides, I'll do another presentation. I've got a 10 steps to optimizing your Facebook profile training. It's totally different. But this is my Instagram profile, the 7 big ones. Number 1, your pick. Make sure that you've got an awesome pick of you. Why you? Because you are promoting you. People are buying you. So make sure you've got a nice pick. Don't do, face, right? This is me and Stephanie. That's about as far away as I'd want to get, by the way, right? I mean, that's kind of our chest up to our head. You want people to see you, right? If you are in a background with a beautiful sunset, I'm just telling you, they're not seeing that. They're not really seeing that. They don't have an appreciation. And if it's your silhouette of somewhere, if it's you flexing or something, and it's a full body and you show people your face, smile. This is energy. This is who you are. That's your calling card right there. Number 2, your bio. Okay. Make sure, let me say this before I go to bio. Don't get so hung up on how many people are following you. Don't worry about some of these numbers. In fact, you can just almost ignore them. Okay. Almost ignore them. Only look at them from a growth standpoint. Am I growing? Right? Did my followers go from 293 to 303, or from 293 to 280, right? Be more interested in movement and direction than comparing and how many do I have, the blah, blah, blah. Okay. Next most important thing, your bio. Right under your name is your title. Okay. Mine is entrepreneur. You get to choose what you want to put in there. And your title, and your bio, right? People need to know who you are. They need to be able to look at this and say, what do you do? You look at this and you're going to know, okay, here's a dude that's passionate about helping women and business wellness. Those are kind of like, but think the one thing I want you to know about me is I'm into supporting women. Because that's about how much time I have in my bio. You know what I mean? Like this is a very, very short essay here. It's not even an essay. Now you can click more. Oops, I was treating that like it was actually a live link. I could click more here on the bio and get more. But the most important thing is the first three lines. Okay. Next, links. Do you see under my bio, I have a link tree /Seth Mulder _CEO. Okay. And by the way, if you were to go to most of my social media, there's a theme. It's this CEO theme. Okay. And we have members of the team who are mimicking that and copying that. Beverly Hills CEO, right? I mean, you get to own that. We've created a marketing platform, if you will, for you to benefit. But I like to keep some continuity. People are going to see Seth Mulder and Seth Mulder on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. And there's this CEO theme, right? I want them to take that away. You want to have some links here. I can't remember if there's space for one or two links. I know there's space for one because I've got that one. If you were a first-time visitor and you're like, well, what's this link tree all about? And you were to click on that link tree, it would take you to 2 links, my profile with an app called Linktree. And that would say, hey, do you want to take a business success survey or a wellness survey? Those are the only 2 links. I've enrolled people who found me on social media, followed me to Instagram, clicked on my Linktree, clicked on the business survey, filled out the business survey, watched a video, and then bought product. Okay. Right? Or we've been talking about the business. They got all the way to, 7 steps into that before I ever knew anything. Right? But they had the link. I had my link in there. So it gave them something to do. If you're going to be in business, there's a great little reel on Instagram right now that's going, if you got to be in business, you got to talk about your business. If you want to be in business, you got to talk about your business. If you want to be in business, you got to talk about your business. In other words, you got to be in business here. People have to be able to click buy or click contact me or whatever. Next, highlights. Do you know what the highlight section is? I don't know if do you see my cursor moving around on the page? Is it moving? Do you see my little arrow? I don't know if you do. It might not be showing that. So I don't have a highlight tool, but if you go under my profile and then it says edit profile and it says add tools, insights, add shop. Below that, you see 5 circles. You see those 5 circles with kind of pictures in them?
Yep.
Liquid collagen, your story, glow, one person affirmation. This is what Instagram calls highlights. Okay. You need to have highlights. If you're in business, you 100% need to have highlights. Here's what a highlight is. A highlight is a highlight of an Instagram story that you did previously. And it's in your archive. Okay. So like I could literally go and create a highlight from any of my previous Instagram stories from today back, when the history, whenever I started creating those. And I get to pick which ones and pick which order they're in. And so it's like I'm creating a highlight story, right? So a theme. What's a theme? We'll look at my theme. What's the first theme here? Liquid collagen. And the first picture, it says it's the little pink circle. And inside of it, can you read that, what it says? My personal results. So if you click on that highlight, like this is the highlights of my account. You want to know what I'm really about? Go to my highlights. Okay. It's kind of like the quick form version. They're going to see 15 pages. Literally, it's a bunch of pictures and text and video and an order link for liquid collagen, right? That's a highlight. What's the next one? Your story. That's actually snippets from my keynote speech about mastering your story, about it's your time. It's inspiration, right? That's part of my highlight. Well, my next one is glow. Yeah, glow. That's liquid collagen again, because I'm doubling down literally on liquid collagen business, right? So you want to go through and create your highlights section. And here's what you want in your highlights. This is, if any of you been in my training recently, there's kind of like the story, not like the hook, the story, and the call to action. You want to make sure that you create stories that have hooks, body, and call to action. Because this highlight is there, this highlight's there, it's like permanently there, right? I want somebody to go there and they're like, what's Seth doing? Oh, liquid collagen, boom, 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 boom. Looks good, interesting. Oh, here's a link to buy. There's a link to buy liquid collagen on that story. In the glow highlight, there's an invitation, a call to action to DM me if you want a free gift and to be a trial customer, right? So you gotta do highlights. Next, 3 things: stories, reels, posts. So this gets down to creating some more content. But I think if you're wondering, wow, where should I be spending my time? I think the highest return on investment right now, based on what I'm hearing and kind of my pulse on the market where I am, are stories and reels and stories. Reels is really coming up. I put stories first, and here's why I put stories first. Stories are easier. Stories are no brain easy, or they're just easier and faster to create. Okay. So you should be 100%, you should be adding to your stories daily, because they only last 24 hours. They only stay on your feed for 24 hours. Then they go into your archive. Nobody sees them unless you create a highlight out of them. So here's an assignment today. Go create a highlight from your story archive. If you're on Instagram, it doesn't have to be, there's no assignment about what it has to be about. It doesn't have to be about business, doesn't have to have a call to action. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to go create one. Because until you create one, you don't know how to create one. Once you've created one, by the way, you can always delete it, but at least you've got a highlight. Go through and there, pick, hey, I'm going to highlight, who am I? My 7 favorite pictures from me in stories. That's a highlight of who? That's a highlight of you. That's your story. It's my time, right? Maybe it's a story on liquid collagen. Maybe you've got, 17 pages. You know what I mean by a page of a story. It's like you can only see one page of a story at one time. Well, maybe let's say over the last month, you've been talking about liquid collagen or what's going to come, or Bruno, or you've been posting before and after pictures that you've seen. All you have to do is go, okay, I'm going to create a highlight. I want that one. And oh yeah, that one from 2 weeks ago. Oh, and that one from yesterday. And this one from today. I mean, you literally can kind of pick and choose and create an album, if you will, highlight, and boom, it's there and people can see it. It's not hard. That's an assignment today. Go create a highlight from your story archive on Instagram. Next, be involved in stories every single day. And I'm going to say multiple page stories. Do not settle for 1-page stories. You want to draw people in 3 pages or more. Okay. 3 pages or more every single day. Can all of those be related? Yes. Can they all be posted at the same time? Yes. In fact, if I'm going to choose, you don't have to, if I'm going to choose and I'm doing 3 pages, I want to do all of them at the same time. And here's why. Because I want to see how many people watch page 1. Because if I put them all at the same time, boom, they're all going to be there for 24 hours. And people are going to see them all in, a chronological order. So if they watch page 1 and they go to page 2 and then they go to page 3, I can actually see that. Oh, there were 100 people on page 1 and 40 on page 3. I lost 60 people. I'm not so concerned about how many I lose. I don't really get into that. But I do like to see, oh, I caught 100 people's attention. Well, 100 people noticed me. Page 2, 70 people. I caught 70 people's attention because they decided to go to page 2, and 40 really must like me. The 40 are dialed in. Does that make sense? That's actually better than posting 3 separate times, 1 little page on stories, because then you're not going to see, like, I'm not afraid. I've got 15-page stories, and it's really interesting to see, folks. I might have 100 people. I might have 30 people on page 1 By page 3, I've got 15. But by page 15, I still have 13. What? So I lost a lot of people between page 1 and 3, but between pages 3 and 15, everybody, like, I only lost 2. Do you see how powerful that is? And then I go and I look at those 13 and I'm like, who are my 13 favorite people today? Who are the 13 people that watched all 15 pages of my story? They didn't respond. They didn't comment. They didn't answer. They didn't answer the poll. Oh, there are 2 of them that I need to nurture. I'm going to reach out to them. Does that make sense? So you want to be doing stories every day. Another cool aspect is you can publish your stories on Instagram and program that to automatically feed your story in Facebook. You do nothing. You just hit post. So I don't post any stories in Facebook anymore, ever. I post them all in Instagram because then they all show up on Facebook. And here's an interesting thing. I have a very different audience from Facebook to Instagram. My Facebook audience is a lot more LifeVantage people because I've had my Facebook longer and I've been a Pro 10 for a while, right? My Instagram has a lot less LifeVantage people. And so it looks like this. If I'm to look at so I pasted a story on Instagram, my Bible study story this morning, 4 pages, by the way, on that Bible study. On Instagram, I have 8 people who've watched that. Okay. On Facebook, I've had 32 people watch it, which, I mean, I have about 400% more action, if you will, or viewership on Facebook. But I post them in both places because I want to reach both audiences. Okay. So do stories every day. Do multiple pages every day. Okay. Next, Reels. Now, Reels are awesome. Reels are trending right now. Why is TikTok so stinking famous? Reels is TikTok, right? So here's what I'm doing now today. I started creating Reels a couple of months ago. I've gotten serious about it over the last month. And now I'm pushing to really go into creating Reels almost, multiple times a week. I'm shooting for daily. Okay. Where should you start? Somewhere, right? Like if you're gonna invest in Facebook or Instagram or TikTok for that matter, just start doing one reel. That's an assignment. Get a reel done and then let me know, hey, I finished a reel. You've got 1 week, okay? 7 days. 7 days before we do this marketing mastermind again to create a reel. Doesn't have to be about business, doesn't even have to be good. All right. You just have to create a reel and post it in TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. Here's what I do. I create all of my reels in Instagram, or I post them first in Instagram. Then I download them to my camera roll. Then I go over to Facebook, upload them, share. Then I go over to TikTok, upload and share. And in fact, I think you can go to TikTok and upload them and they'll go to all 3. I haven't even, I'm learning, right? But I can create one reel and put them on 3 different platforms. And I have different viewership in all those platforms. This is really interesting, by the way. If you look at the reel that I created today, I'm going to show it to you right here. I'm going to stop screen share. Here's my reel that I created today. Actually, I'm going to do the one I did yesterday. Okay. Here's my reel from yesterday.
I like it. I want it. I got it.
I'm going to let you see it a couple of times.
I want it. I got it.
It says championing women in business, helping them tell their stories, seeing more women-led teams. That's it. 7 seconds.
I want it. I got it.
All right. So that's a reel. By the way, how many of you, if you've created a reel, will you drop that in the chat box? I'm just curious if you've created a reel. Okay. Yes or no. If you're creating lots of reels, say, yeah, I'm doing reels weekly or whatever. It took me probably about 10 to 15 minutes to create that reel. Okay. Start time. Others take me longer. This is my reel from today. Literally, I did this whole thing in 10 minutes.
Here I go again, girls. What's my weakness? Lower back pain, knee pain, just general pain. That's it. Okay, here I go.
That was it.
Here I go again, girls. What's my weakness? Lower back pain, knee pain, just general pain. That's it.
Okay, so you kind of get idea. These are little video shorts, right? That took me about 10 minutes. This dancing one, I literally just put it up 2 hours ago. On TikTok, I'm not getting traction on TikTok yet, right? Like I'm not getting viral traction. I've had 17 views on that. That's all. I only got 7 yesterday. I'm like, what the heck? What is up? You know, I'm just not, I just haven't cracked the code. You know what you know how I'm going to solve that? I'm going to make more, right? You can't crack the code unless you have numbers to work with. Now, if I take that same reel over on Instagram, again, I posted these all basically, you know, within 10 minutes of each other. Same reel on Instagram, I've got 136 views. Okay. If I go over to Facebook, same reel on Facebook today, that reel's at 120 views. Okay. I have other reels, like I've got the horse reel. Just me mounting my horse. That's it. Okay, that's it. That was a trending reel, by the way. People were doing it with their hair. Like it was girls with a ponytail pretending like they're a horse, and their kid comes on and pretends they're riding, and they're right with that same music. That music is trending. So I decided to do it. I saw something was trending. I decided to put my own flavor to something that's trending. I'm like, I'm not going to get a ponytail. Well, I have no ponytail. I guess Steph can come over and pretend she's a horse, or I can go down to the barn. I can make my own horse ride, right? So interestingly enough, by the way, TikTok, that reel has 246 views. On Facebook, I have 914 views. And on Instagram, I have 3,794 views. And I have a number of new leads because I did hashtag horse riding. And on Instagram, that picked up. And on Facebook, it didn't. And on TikTok, I got virtually, I got almost nothing. But I'm communicating, literally, I've got horse riders and horse lovers from all around the world who liked that little Old Town Road reel. So I'm looking at your answers here. Get into reels. Get into start creating reels and make a goal to make a reel this week. Now, if you want to bust your business open, make a reel today. I didn't say make an amazing reel today. I just said make a reel today. Tomorrow, make a good one. Next week, make a couple of really good ones. That's how you're going to blow this out of the water and be successful. If you currently don't have that skill set. Last thing. So we talked about stories, reels, and posts. Posts are just those static posts that stay there forever, right? Reels stay there forever too, by the way. So I'm doing all three, but most of my energy is in stories and reels right now. But I'll tell you this, if you're doing stories and reels regularly, you know what you can easily do, and you should? You take the content from those stories and reels and you curate it, meaning you take a little of it, and that is what you choose for a post today. Okay, so stories every day, reels regularly, and then, once a day, once every 2 days, once every 3 days, take some of that and make sure that ends up permanently on your posts. Okay, hooks. How do you create content? How do you make things interesting? Think about a hook. What's going to catch somebody's attention, maybe? Think about the body. What's the important message here? And then CTA. What's the call to action? Is it a call for a sale? Is it a call to DM me? By the way, those are the two big ones that we all want to see. And they're the two that people are going to follow up on the least, right? Why? Because it just is. Just that's the way it's supposed to be. People are going to have to see you 21 times before they do anything. They may have to see 21 calls to action before they see anything. Don't make every call to action buy my stuff, click my link. But on the other hand, if you're going to be in business, you got to talk about your business. If you're going to be in business, you got to talk about your business. If you're going to be in business, you got to talk about your business. Don't wait for people to say, gee whiz, what is that thing? You better have given them 17 opportunities, right? If they've watched your stuff, they better know that they could click this link to get my free masterclass on storytelling, on mastering the story. They should know that if they wanted to order liquid collagen, that they had 17 different chances to do it. That does not mean the next 17 posts I make all have that link. Okay. Pick a number. Put your selling link in 1 out of 5 posts. Hey, if you want more information about how to look great, or you want to get, then click on my link, click my store. That's business. That's normal, right? Not every post, but do it 20% of the time. All right. On another, I was going to get in and we we're going to look at some screen stuff and how to do this and how to do this, how to do this, but I think this is a good place to start. And we will be doing future sessions. I'm going to start doing a power hours regularly, multiple social power hours every week. Would you love that? And what we're going to do is actually, we're going to jump in and we're actually going to do something. So for example, we're going to go in and say, okay, today's social hour, we're actually going to create your highlight. Okay, today's social hour, you're going to do these 3 things. You're going to change, you're going to make sure you have a great pic, profile pic. You're going to update your bio and you're going to create a highlight. Did I say a great highlight? No. Did I say a good highlight? No, I said create a highlight. It's going to stink, by the way. And 2 years from now, you're going to look back and you're going to say, that was ugly. But that's okay. You're not 2 years from now. You're right here today. And if you don't create the highlight today, then guess what? 2 years from now, you won't look back and look at that because it won't have been created. And you have never become the social media megastar that you could have because you didn't make something that sucked, right? Before it was super. You got to suck before you can be super. So anyway, I'll be posting those. I'm going to do probably 2 social power hours a week. There'll be different times than our jam session power hours. They may or may not work for you. They will all be recorded though, because they'll be a really great kind of walk along, right? Oh, they're doing this. How do I do this? Hey, let me show you. And we'll be sharing our screen. Here's what I'm also going to do. I'm actually going to walk you through how to make reels. Like we will record. I can screen share. I was working on this today. Well, I'm going to do a dancing reel with you. Okay. I'm going to show you how I make a reel and how you can do the very same thing. Okay. So tell your story. It's your time. Back to you. Thanks, Bruno. You're muted, Ann. All those nice things you were saying, nobody could hear.
Well, it was all terrible things about you, so it's a good thing it was muted. So no, that was a master class that I know that I needed because looking at the information we got and what we went through in this book and a combination, it's all about the story. It's all about getting out there. It's all about communication. And so I really needed that because we're doing 1-to-1. We got to go 1-to-many, making it relevant for the right person. And one of the things that we did here during the event, which just told me, that's 21 to 24 touches now that social media is at. Before they used to say it was like 5 to 7 touches. Sometimes it's 4 to 7, but now it's 21 to 24. So I don't know about you, but I know I need to create a whole bunch more. And I'm going to tell on myself. I have been in the past lazy about being on social media on a regular basis. My focus has been really working with people one-on-one and building all that. But I do know the power of social media, and I'm actually focusing obviously on all of them, but I'm focusing on LinkedIn in particular right now. The thing that we are doing also, and I'll be sharing this with you, as a matter of fact, Seth and I will be doing a live broadcast every Monday, and there'll be several, but on social media, we'll be broadcasting on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and you can add more, at the same time, also going to be broadcasting into Clubhouse. And so this is the technology we're going to be leveraging. Technology I know about. Creating stories I know about, and I'm getting inspired by Seth showing up on social media. The parts where I was a bit hesitant is honestly just being lazy learning with technology, because it seemed to me that every day there was a new button, a new this, a new that. The algorithms are changing every day. I'm like, I don't have time to learn algorithms every day. Because everything was shifting so quickly, right? Between Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and all connecting, disconnecting, I don't know. But what I do like is Seth is actually investing his time and in brilliance and testing things. So if we know what stories we want to share, if we have a system that we're following, and we have somebody who's testing and can lead us into how do we create those reels, those stories, how do they work? There is no reason that we cannot work together. And part of it is, we'll be looking into being collaborative partners for each other. Maybe we need to 2 or 3 of us work together to collaborate. We'll figure all that out. But what I do know is I'm going to be here every Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time for at least the next 3 months, right? Because I'm implementing what we learn. And so those of you who will join me, let me know if you already got it, if you got the email. I will actually be posting the link in the CEO group to make sure that you are also included in the weekly, announcement that goes out for you to show up here every week. I just put the link in the CEO group, so some of you just clicked on that link and show up. But I know we need reminders, right? We need reminders. So if you do want to show up and work together every week, implementing each one of those 12 that I went through, and which is in this book. If you haven't already downloaded the book, the link is in the chat. And so download it, go through it, because that's
You got muted, and you're muted.
how did I get muted again? That's weird. Did you guys hear anything? This is weird.
It was only for a few seconds, Anne.
Oh, okay.
All that gold that was coming out of it. Just for a few seconds.
Yeah, so anyways, we will be on, 60 to 90 minutes. Count on 60 minutes. I don't know what it's going to take, how long it's going to take for each one, because they're different content. But what I will be doing is, once we go through whatever the teaching points are, then we're going to go into breakout rooms so we can get feedback on what we're doing. So get 60 to 90 minutes to create your content, and then work with Seth and learn what, once or twice a week, whatever it's going to do. I want to know how to get those stories out there. So you guys, the next 3 months, we're going to rock it. Okay. So we're going to set the intention. What do you want? What do you want? That's the first thing we're going to do next week. And we're going to be taking a look at your lifestyle declaration. Here's what I want. Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's all the things that go with it. And so we're going to rock it. And that's all there is to it. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. And I will be putting the link in the, I don't have it available right this minute, but I'll put it in CEO email. Invite whoever you want to invite. Okay. We're building a team. we're going to go to the next level of pro wherever you are by building a team. So feel free to invite people. Feel free to invite your customers so they can become business builders if that's what you want. If you have a vision, somebody who's a customer and they're like, oh no, it's too hard. I'm not going to go ask people to buy the product. I said, well, that's okay. We're just going to be sharing together. And that will make it easier because that's one of the hesitations that people have. Okay, so let's see. We got the one, the link again. All right, you guys. No, wait a minute. Somebody wants to chat the link in the again. Okay, let's grab that link quickly again and put that up there. Let's see if that's it. Nope. Oh, here it is. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining. And there's the link again to download the book in Google Drive. And I will see you here next Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. So hopefully.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Steph. That was awesome. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Seth. Bye-bye. Great
Thank
job.
you. All right.
Thank you so
bye all.
much. Bye,
See you
thank
later
you.
in Meetup.